First grade, I remember my first time I went out there to go run with the team. And of course, they're right, it's not easy. But, you know, what helps you stick with it is, you know, the enjoyment and the love for the sport. That's, you know, what's kind of helped me, you know, stay in running as well.
My dad passed away. I didn't know if I was I didn't know if I was gonna keep running. But since that day, my coach was always being with me, and he's always being with me. So he keeps showing me the love of my parent, you know, as a dad. So that's why I kept going, because I have someone to look up to, you know. He always believed in me, and I couldn't do everything that my dad told me to do. So that's my favorite memory, because since that day, everything changed. I started getting faster. Well, I'm not that fast, I'm not that good, but I started showing that I was getting better and better. So that's my favorite memory. So you want more light, right? Yeah. That's all my 4 awards right there. Medals, everything, my goals. The books that Lopez gives us for our times. This is the Valley title that I have in my freshman year. I was an alternate in Varsity that year. And these are the 4 years that I did track and cross country. My name, the years, and I have my last name and the quote I put. I believe in God, so with God I can do everything. So my faith is that if I'm with Him, I can do whatever it's in this world.
At first, I really didn't like it because I wasn't really that good. But as years progressed, Coach Lopez, he just got me way better throughout the years, and I just fell in love with it. It can't do it for him. We need to do it for ourselves. That's what he tells us. Practice makes perfect. And going out to practice is what's going to help us, not just sitting down. Because sometimes we have practice in the morning, sometimes I don't wake up, and it affects the whole team.
You do something for so long, and then you just really can't stop doing it, and it just feels right when you do it, and when you don't do it, it just feels so weird. So I think that's why I like it so much. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop running, because, you know, I've been doing it my whole life, and so I can't really stop. You can't just go out there, and you have to be full-time, you know. You can't say that, oh, I'm gonna run, but I don't want to go to practice, I don't like running. Like, then why are you doing it? You have to, like, truly love it to be really good.
Well, what keeps me going is I believe my coach. He's very supportive, and he makes the sport really fun. So I think he's the one who keeps me going. I hope to continue running, whether it's in college or just for fun. I just think that running is that type of sport to have as a lifestyle.
I started at the Park and Rec program that we had, and it just took off from there. I started with the track program that we had too, and I've just been running ever since. I just like it so much. I've been doing it so long. It's pretty much become a part of my day. The day isn't complete without it almost. Sure, the aching joints and muscles are very common, but that's only temporary. It goes away after a while. I would have to say injuries has to be the toughest thing. Not because of the physical pain, but because of the fact that I can't go out and do what I love the most, which is running and pretty much anything in general. You're pretty much handicapped.
Well, you know, running is a big part of our family. Running for us has been it brought us together, a unity for our family. I mean, besides my mom and all her cooked meals and stuff, running was a key thing for our family to be so united. For me personally, and I can probably even say for my brothers, running has been a big part of our success in college, in life. It's due to running. It's due to the principles that we learned with Mr. White. Is working hard, being dedicated, being responsible, showing up to practice, being on time, which is something that young people they struggle with, but being on time, and then to work hard in your job. I'm a counselor and I want to do a good job. I want to work hard. I want to give you extra. Those things carry you and make you, a remarkable young man, young lady in life. So we owe everything to running, to Mr. White and to the McFarland cross country program.
Watch the road. Look before you cross. You'll be able to see us. We'll start back over here. You'll see us along this way.
I am now coaching the youth track club. So, been doing it probably, I'd say about 4 years already. Sure, not every runner is going to be, superb, going to go to the Olympics. Not every runner is going to do that. But we tell them what you put into it's what you're going to get out of it. It's mental, and of course physical, of course. But you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you break yourself and you do the best you can do, then you're going to do well. But it's I personally believe it's just how they what they put into it is what they're going to get out of it.
Running back then, it was important. It is important now. It changes. It gives you work ethic. It gives you. If it wasn't for running, for Mr. White, for being out there with our band of brothers, we would be out there and we would run 10 miles, 12 miles. We would go 15 miles. We would go do workouts. I mean, these strenuous, ridiculous workouts that in the beginning you thought you probably wouldn't be able to get through the end of the workout. But once you got to the end, you're like, man, I accomplished something. And with that in mind, that helped us out, at least for myself, in life. Going to school, it wasn't an easy task. Graduating your senior year, your senior seminar classes, and there was times where I wanted to give up. I had friends that were working in a big old distribution center. They were making quick money, fast money, $17 an hour. Meanwhile, I was going to school. But if it wasn't for that cross-country mentality, you know what? Keep going. Keep going. I don't think I would be here today.
Cross-country running is not about winning anything. It's about learning, an experience to challenge yourself beyond the finish line. Because there is no finish line in life. There's always a new experience you can experience and you can share with other people. And that's the way I live my life. Everybody in life has challenges and there's maybe obstacles in life sometimes, whether you've broken home, a lost job, because I've experienced all of that. And you know what, there's always something that, where one door closes, another door opens.
Well, a lot of it has to do with Mr. White. He will always teach us, if you're gonna do something, do it 100%. If you're not gonna come out here and do 100%, then go do something else. Go figure out what you want to do in life, and if that makes you happy, then do it and do it 100%. Don't do anything 90%. Always give 110%. And he will always tell us there's no sense in worrying about anything you can't control. So you can control yourself. If you can go out there and do what you can, then do it. But don't worry about, they're not doing good, or this person's doing things they're not supposed to, and so that made you focus on you. And I mean, a lot of it was Mr. White pushing us and telling us and expecting from us and involving himself with us on the weekends and above and beyond just running. So I model a lot of the stuff that I do from the stuff that he used to do, that we learned from him.
Down.
Take lessons, kid.
Did she rip him? Did she rip him?
She killed him.
the people who you're involved with really do become, you know, your family. Like, I really try and help and support the high school, even though I don't run with them or, you know, help them anyway. So I try and, you know, support them other ways by doing, you know, dinners and, you know, try and find things to help them, you know, feel like they, you know, matter and are doing a good job. And they really do become like your own kids. I happen to be in a position that I can help a lot more, so that's what I try and do. So to try and help them feel, you know, like they're appreciated, basically. So, and I think that helps a lot.
Stick with it. You know, people blossom at different times. You never know. Just because maybe you're not where you want to be right now, who's to say that in 5 years you won't be? Who's to say that in 20 years, then that's your time to shine? Stick with it. You know, don't give up. So for me, when I'm running, you know, I'm always meditating or in my own way praying, asking for strength and for endurance, for that help to get through these challenges and this course or whatever it is. So for me, I draw my strength from God. Every time we are gonna race, you know, we say a prayer, and we ask for God's blessing and for His protection and for Him to help out the boys and for them to do their best. And so that's something that's just traditional and something we've always done since Mr. White. Mr. White's real spiritual too, and so you know, it's just something that we carry on.
¿Cómo? Para que tenga mis sueños. Que él sea una gran persona y que se supere cada día más. Igual de su papá, él se los dijo, yo pienso, antes de que muriera. Pues que le ha ayudado para que él sea más disciplinado y que él vea que hay necesidad de que tiene que hacerse responsable en cuanto que tiene que trabajar y al mismo tiempo cumplir con sus obligaciones.
When there's a community behind any activity, when there's a community behind a program, when there's a community behind leaders, special leaders, Coach White, Joe Lopez, and all the other coaches in the community, what it does is it creates a sense of pride and ownership. There was that synergy, there was that idea that I can leave the fields, I can leave the humble beginnings that we have, which we value to this day, but I know that I can follow Mr. Samaniego's path and be a teacher someday, not just a field worker like my parents. Or I can take the path of some of the other gentlemen that we have that are in engineering, and so on and so forth. So it creates a path towards success.
Well, we see them get gold, and it feels like we got it too. When we see them win, I feel like I won. So they carry the weight of McFarland on their shoulders. All these years that we've been here, it's just created a very deep attachment. So I would say that we have deep roots here. And when anytime there's a tree with deep roots, it's hard to pull out. Every time we have city cleanups that we support for the city, they're always supporting. We don't even have to call them, they're always there. And what I've learned from them, or even our staff, is that they're just their way of being, how happy they are, and their attitude towards things. And that shows me a lot, because it shows how humble they are, it shows that they have good leadership, and it shows that they care most of all. And that's something in this world we need more of.
My coaching philosophy is anyone can run. Anyone can run, and my philosophy is patience. You got to be patient, like anything else, and work really, really hard. And in due time, all that hard work will pay off. Not everybody's going to be a state champion or a section champion, But in our program, you don't have to be. Champions don't have to be all great. State, all state or what have you. They could be the kids that were in the middle of the road and go back and get a degree and becoming champion in life.
So to all the runners out there who want to be champions, who want to be great, you have to understand a few things. Number one, you have to find the joy in it. If it's a chore, you're not going to finish. If it becomes a chore, your mind will somehow concoct a plan to not come to practice. You'll find excuses. Find the joy. Understand why you're running. Look at the trees. Look at the sky. Look at the beauty around you and enjoy it. In a lot of ways, Mr. White taught us to love the humble beginning and enjoy the process.
If you can put out a lot of effort here and have success, why can't you do it in the classroom? Why can't you do it in your job? See, there again, it goes right into your attitude. Is this what you want? That's the only thing you can control is your attitude. So you have to continue to work on that. Yes, I can get better grades. How? By participating, by putting an effort in. How are you going to get better as a runner? Same thing. Same thing. So it has to carry over into life, yes. You know, it breaks your heart when you see a lot of potential from a young man and he's not willing to put out the effort. Or if he just puts out half an effort, but then you see what happens to him later on in life. He's put out half an effort in the classroom. He put out half an effort in his marriage, you know. And so those things tend to really get to. I had two boys that were shot. So you remember these things too, you know. They're situations that you wished had never occurred, but they have. I think a lot of coaches, too many times they've got a rough attitude, their language is bad, in various sports, especially, you know, some that you know of, football and stuff. You know, I mean, you're not a good coach if you can't cuss them out. That's wrong, you know. You want to be cussed out? Do you want to be talked to like that? No, treat them like you wanted to be treated, not like you were treated, because a lot of people, coaches, have been treated bad. So I took the opposite. I wasn't treated good as a player through high school and college, so I'm going to turn it around and change that. My greatest success is having them to have a successful life.
I do that here. So then over here you got a couple of my teams, newspaper clippings. What you got? Don't do the coach of the year guy. We don't care about that guy. But we have runners of the years, Bakersfield, Californian. We got that. We got a bunch of different teams from back in 2008.
Gotta have the right attitude, because that's the driving force in not just running, in anything. I mean, my principal sometimes tells me, dude, nothing seems to bother you. Whenever anything happens, if something comes up or this or that, it doesn't faze you at all. I said, Mr. Bell, read my shirt. I said, read the shirt. I says, you know, you can take the bad and really be, or you can just try to make best of it. And so for cross-country runners or anybody, I think attitude is the piece of advice I think they need to take away is you got to have the right attitude in what they're doing. It's not always about winning. It's about the relationship that you house with your kids and the enjoyment of the ride. I think that's what makes I think the difference between a successful program and a program that just comes and goes. You put talent together, they win once, but a successful program, it's about the relationship with the kids. My group of boys, we were sitting down, stretching, talking in the shade. It was real hot, and they said, "Man, Mr. Lopez, we just want you to know that we really appreciate everything you do, man. You're so special to us." That summed it all up. I was like, wow, that's so awesome. I mean, that felt like, I'm like, wow, that's neat. I said, that was really heartwarming to me.
It's a quote from Sir Francis Drake, which is Sic Parvis Magna, greatness from small beginnings. Never be afraid to do what you want to do. Always strive for greatness and never give up. That's what I live by now. Greatness from small beginnings.
Running isn't just, a short-time thing, or you run because, for high school. For some people it is, but for those that are dedicated, running is a lifelong thing, and it can be, translated into life as well, the race of life. And sometimes in life you're gonna lose, and sometimes you're not gonna have it your way. But the harder you work, and the more you put into it, the dedication, then that's where the success and the victory comes. It's not from these little bitty losses, but it's the overall, victory that you have won in the race of life. And so, yeah, I guess the heartbreaking thing is these little losses here and there, but, I have a whole life ahead of me, and so we'll see about that.
Lopez told me, am I down? And I said, yeah, I'm down. So I went
He's like, right now? Yeah, I didn't do it.
Open the can, fool.
That's my son.
That's my son.
Son, are you all right?
You all right, my son? Open the can.
Go, run.